the recent University of Hull Teaching and Learning Conference, educators gathered to tackle a bold question: is the essay dead? This question, intentionally provocative, sparked lively debate among colleagues. With the rise of generative AI capable of producing high-quality essays in minutes, the traditional essay as a form of assessment is being challenged like never before. But as the discussion unfolded, it became clear that the answer isn't simply yes or no. Instead, it opened the door to deeper questions about the role of essays in education and how we assess student learning in an AI-driven world. Despite the technological advances, one message stood out: educators still value essays highly. Essays are seen as essential for developing academic skills, such as building arguments, synthesizing evidence, and communicating complex ideas. Many disciplines rely on these capabilities, and moving away from essays entirely could mean losing important opportunities for students to demonstrate understanding and critical thinking. The conversation quickly shifted from whether essays should disappear to a more nuanced question: is it the essay itself that's under threat, or just the way we've traditionally used it for summative assessment? Recurring theme emerged: the importance of process over product. With AI making it easier to produce polished essays, educators are concerned that the journey behind the final submission is becoming invisible. If we only see the end result, how do we know what students actually learned? This led to a shift in thinking: perhaps it's not enough to assess just the final essay. Instead, we should focus on the process students follow, including their drafts, reflections, and decision-making. By making the workflow more visible, we can better understand and support their learning journey. To address the challenge of invisible processes, participants suggested practical strategies. These included capturing drafts and development stages, requiring students to write reflective commentaries, and encouraging them to explain how they used AI tools. By making these steps part of the assessment, educators can gain deeper insight into students' thinking and learning. This approach shifts the focus from simply grading a finished essay to evaluating the entire learning journey, ensuring that students are recognized for their effort, creativity, and growth along the way. Another key discussion point was creativity. If AI can generate coherent essays, what happens to the student's individual voice and originality? Participants reflected on the difference between creating and editing, generating and refining, and how these processes demonstrate true understanding. The consensus was clear: assessments should create space for students to express their individuality, exercise judgment, and develop their own academic voice. Creativity remains vital, and assessments must evolve to ensure students can showcase their unique perspectives and critical thinking skills. The workshop explored innovative alternatives to traditional essays. Ideas included portfolio-based assessments, multi-component tasks, and authentic assessments linked to real-world practice. Some suggested capturing conversations and dialogue with AI, or designing assessments that foreground reflection and decision-making. While these approaches offer exciting opportunities to assess true competency, they also raise practical challenges. Staff workload, consistency in marking, and feasibility for large student groups are important considerations. Still, these new methods may provide richer, more meaningful evidence of student learning. While new assessment methods are promising, the familiar essay format still has advantages. It's well understood by both staff and students, making it easier to plan, support, and grade. However, as education evolves, there's a need to balance the comfort of tradition with the benefits of innovation. The challenge is to integrate new approaches without overwhelming educators or sacrificing the core skills that essays help develop. Finding this balance will be key as institutions adapt to the realities of AI in education. By the end of the discussion, the central question had shifted. Instead of asking whether the essay is dead, participants focused on whether the summative assessment model built around essays needs to evolve. The value of argumentation, synthesis, critical thinking, and scholarly writing remains clear. What's changing is our confidence that a single written submission can capture all these skills. As AI becomes a routine part of learning, assessment models must adapt to ensure they still measure what matters most. In summary, essays are not dead, but assessment is entering a period of significant transition. The challenge for educators is to preserve the core benefits of essays, argumentation, synthesis, and critical thinking, while making students' learning processes more visible. As AI becomes an everyday tool in education and professional life, it's crucial to rethink how we design and evaluate assessments. The conversation is ongoing, and the future of assessment will depend on our ability to adapt, innovate, and keep students' learning at the center.